Hi everyone. Oh, this is so weird. Yeah, sorry about the flickering light on the camera. I tried hours to fix that and I have no idea why it's doing that. Also, this is like my first time using this camera and it might be doing that because I dropped it. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't really have a script for this video. It's just like an update video, what's going on, and I figured it'd be better for me to record like me. If you see me looking down this way, it's because that's me like talking to myself, so it's hard for me to stay focused into the camera. Forgive me for now. Maybe I'll get used to this in the future, but for now it's very difficult. Sorry I was gone again. I know I made a video in November saying, I'm back, I quit my job, my retail job, and it's all gonna work out and everything. And then when I made that video, a lot of unexpected things happened, so it kind of threw me off the rails a bit and made it so I couldn't get myself together. And I told myself, hey, you know what, January 2020, new decade, you're gonna have yourself together. Kind of doing that today, but today is also the 11th or the 12th, I don't even know what day when I'm recording this, so that was also kind of a lie. So I wanted to keep you guys an update on what I think I'm going to be doing with this channel because of everything else I'm also doing at the same time. But I really want to get back into the swing of things, but I understand I say that every single month, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing that. So I really have to stress that as much as I want to, I can't promise anything anymore. I can't say, like, I'm definitely going to do this, I'm definitely going to do that. I could say that to myself, but I don't think I should ever give you guys a general schedule of what I'm doing. That being said, I am trying to get back into it now. So I haven't, like, worked on anything yet, but I have plans to and everything. So I have, like, a whole whiteboard over there now that I'm going to write down my plans and everything. I feel like it'll help me schedule better because I haven't been doing great. My sleeping schedule is... You don't want to know. You don't want to know. I'm basically an owl now, and I know people say that all the time, like, oh, I'm getting up at, like, 2. I'm going to bed at, like, 3. I'm so, like, a night owl. I'm like, I haven't seen sunlight in 4 days. So, like, it's not great. So after I made my update video, I think a day or two after I made it, I got an email from the lead editor of a YouTube channel that I subscribed to and know fairly well, called New Rockstars. New Rockstars is a channel that talks about, like, nerdy stuff and, like, goes into the behind the details of, like, production or, like, not production, but, like, you know, theories and, like, facts and, like, things about, like, Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, mostly big pop culture movies, though I think they just started talking about The Witcher, which everybody was talking about. They do kind of videos like that. Obviously, I'm going to put a link to it and, like, show you some stuff, because I auditioned, he said, hey, you know, I like your work here, would you like to, like, maybe freelance contract for us? And I was like, what? And I didn't apply. He reached out to me and was like, do you want to edit for the channel? I was like, oh, okay. Well, he didn't give me the job immediately. He gave me a test. I took a test for it and I passed. So, like, now I get paid to edit videos for New Rockstars, and it's like, that came out of nowhere. That's a thing that I'm doing now, and I really jumped in there and started doing a lot of work. Then as other things started, like, coming in and getting in the way, I was like, oh, I should probably limit this to, like, twice a week, because I share my computer with my friend when we edit and work on other things with TheTelly, which I'm going to get to later. So I'm now doing, like, every Monday and Wednesday, or, you know, whenever they need me, I'm going to ask to see if they need me for anything, and then I get paid for a video session to do a thing. And you can see some of my work on the channel already. And it's crazy. I'm gonna explain to you why it's crazy. I watch New Rockstars because a lot of the people that I liked from a channel called SourceFed, or SourceFed Nerd specifically, when they were out of the job a few years ago, when their company just shut them down out of nowhere and they only had, like, 2 weeks to leave, I was, like, really bummed out. I was like, no, not the SourceFed Nerd guys. But then, like, New Rockstars was, I think, a new thing at the time. It was already established, and they were like, hey, come on board if you want to come do this. So occasionally, some of the people from SourceFed Nerd, like Philip Molina or Sam Basher, they, like, are on the channel, and it's so weird that I'm also working with the channel. Now, obviously, I'm here. I'm not working in an office. I just can't believe that's a thing. And I'm, like, doing these videos and stuff, and I know that's, like, some people will be happy, like, yeah, you're getting paid. You got kind of, like, a job thing. It's not like a huge thing, but it's a thing. But also, I'm sure a lot of you are like, well, crap. That means you're done with this. And you were already kind of done with this, but now you're extra done with this, because now you're never going to have time. Yes and no. I think I can get my stuff together. I think I can balance this. Now that it's a new decade, I really want to get myself together. I had a rough start because at the first, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to get so prepared and I have so many ideas. I got very sick. I got very, very sick with a throat and like sinus cold for like 10 days. It was like a legit, and from like the day after Christmas to like January 7th or 6th, I was very sick and it was sucky. And it really threw me off my groove. My sleeping schedule went over the place. I didn't care because it was the holidays. I could do whatever I wanted. I was playing video games. I was like chilling. I was eating. I was like, I had like no reason to get up or do anything. And now that it's like the new decade, I was like, now I do have to reason to get up, but I'm tired though. So like it really didn't go as planned. And today, weirdly enough, and I don't know what made today different, I was like, okay, you're gonna get up and you're gonna do that, and then I fell asleep for a few hours, and now I'm recording this at midnight, so this isn't really it's not that big of an accomplishment, but I'm still doing it. So there's that compared to not doing anything from before. Right. So okay. So I'm working for New Rockstars now, which please go out check out their channel and check out some of my videos and their videos or whatever you want to see what them talk about. Yeah, you could see my most recent edit, which kind of stressed me out because it was a lot, but I think I got through it. You can find Big Questions, episode 3, I think, the one about the force choking. Why doesn't Darth Vader force choke more often? I edited like 75% of that. Mostly the first 3/4 of it are me with some, but they changed a few minute details, and I didn't do the last fourth of it, but like a lot of it is like me and you kind of see my brand of humor in there, and I've never done like an edit with like a 3-person camera before, so I had to like, cut the audio pieces and the visuals in a way I've never done before, but I think it turned out pretty well. People received it pretty well in the comments, which was like, well, everyone was saying, oh, the editings are so good, and obviously I wasn't the only one who edited it, don't give me all the credit, but at the same time I'm like, whoa, okay, this is good. I'm glad. But like, yeah, no, if you want, I understand that it's not Critical Role stuff, I understand that, but if you kind of like my sense of humor in regards to that stuff, not for all their videos, only like Big Question, if I ever do Big Question again, that's the name of the series that they do, that video has a lot of that in there, and then also I edit like what footage goes in front of other videos and their normal videos that they've done. The first one I did was their Star Wars, their retrospect on Star Wars, the original one from 1977. I'm gonna get killed if it's not 1977. There's also other stuff I have to work on. I'm still working for TheTelly, which is the Instagram channel, or I should say IGTV. We don't do like, it's on Instagram, but it's through IGTV, which has a bunch of filmmakers from Brooklyn coming together and making their own projects. I'm still working on that. I'm really behind. Have not been having a great time. After I'm done recording this video, I have to record audio for a series that I'm working on called Poorly Drawn, which is going to be on there, where I review cartoons that have the people kind of dismissed for having a poorly drawn conclusion about. That's a thing that's going to be a thing. And I'm very behind, and we're in crunch time, and my friend is probably very annoyed with me. But now that I'm kind of getting my shit together, I'm going to put it together, and that's going to take up a lot of my time as well, because as well as editing that show and creating that show with my friend, I will also be editing, hopefully, now that I think about it, he hasn't contacted me in a while. I gotta figure out what's going on with that. That's Random again, which That's Random was the show that I edited on the telly last time, about a year ago. So apparently the footage is all recorded for it. I'm actually gonna message him right now about that. So I have a lot going on, as you can see. I'm doing the telly, and I'm doing New Rockstars. I'm helping him edit with some of his stuff, and I'm also helping New Rockstars stuff. But I miss doing Critical Role stuff. I had a bit of a canceled moment, I guess. I was somewhat canceled on Tumblr for a bit. It's somewhat deserved, but not really, where I was like, and I am going to be vocal about this because I'm not going to like hide my opinion. I don't really like that they chose to partner with Amazon for the series, for the Vox Machina series. It feels like a low blow after getting everybody together to raise money for this project, and then just go, oh, but we want Amazon's money to make it an actual series. There's a lot. It's a lot more complicated than that, and I can break it down. I'm not like canceling them or furious with them, and I understand that they needed a platform to put the series on, though I thought they were just going to upload it to their YouTube channel. I don't know. To me, it just felt wrong that they were like, we're proudly sponsored by Amazon. It's like, well, why did you ask us for help? Why did you do that? Like, I don't know. Sorry, I'm being negative. I don't want to get into it again. And I wasn't like, I wasn't trying to be like cancelly or terrible, but that did kind of make me step away from the show for a bit. So then I had to catch back up. I am caught up now. I'm confused as to what the hell's going on with the beacons. I have no idea who has what, who's lying, who's telling the truth, what king or queen knows what information. I am completely lost. I'm trying to understand, but it's a lot. But I'm still enjoying the show immensely, and I'm kind of gotten over. I shouldn't say I've gotten over it. Like, I still don't like that they made this choice, but what I mean is I'm still going to watch the show anyway, and I'm still going to try to enjoy it anyway. So I'm going to go back to doing Critical Role crack stuff. Patreon. I have been pausing my Patreon. I have not been taking any money. At least I'm trying not to. I think I might have missed a month a while ago, which I felt terrible about. I meant to pause the Patreon because I'm not doing anything on the channel, so therefore you should not be paying me. So I've been making sure to pause. I think I'm going to pause for this month again, but it will be the last time I pause because I plan to go back to doing work for the channel. It's just a lot right now, and there's also things I'm also just I'm really bad at procrastinating and scheduling myself. I have a lot of mental issues to go through with that. Like, if I'm scheduling something and something just goes slightly off, I give up and don't do anything with myself for the rest of the day. Like, oh, I meant to get up at 12, but it's 12:40, so I guess I can do whatever I want. And like, that's not that. I gotta stop doing that, and I kind of did that today, but then I fell back asleep for a bit. So, like, I am not a stable person. I must stress, which, you know, I should not be saying that now that I am contractually an editor for New Rockstars. I will always be stable for that job. I put all my effort into that job. I'm gonna get back into the swing of things, though you've heard that 10,000 times, so therefore it's not something I can promise, and it's not something you should expect. But I want to get back into the swing of things. And it's just hard right now to do that. Not for a lot of reasons, but I feel like things are, and again, I'm incredibly grateful that I'm now being paid for some work. That's never really happened before in my editing. Other than the I'm so sorry. Other than the patrons who've been ridiculous for paying me for those comedy videos I made. Oh my God. I'm incredibly freaking thankful. I meant paid like in a job, like contractually. I had the retail job, but and I was paid for that obviously, but I just ended up hating that so much it wasn't worth it anymore, and I saved up some money there. But I've spent very little of this video talking about this channel, other than I'll get back to it, and it sounds like I'm procrastinating because I don't want to do it. I think it's just because the more you put something off, the more guilt you feel for leaving for so long, and I feel guilty. I feel like I haven't accomplished anything with myself. I feel like no one's gonna remember who I am. My moment has very much passed because I couldn't keep it together and I couldn't keep up with anything. I don't know. It's hard because you want to feel relevant, but the guilt of not being relevant makes you not relevant and continue not working. So like, I don't know how to put it into words. I don't know how to explain it, but like, I just feel guilty for taking money from you guys. But again, I paused the Patreon for a reason, but even before I started pausing the Patreon, even just having a Patreon at all for making these videos, I made that with like this grand mania plan that I was going to suddenly become a YouTuber. And I thought it was going to be so easy because I started off so strong. Not easy, but I thought it was going to be great for me because I started off so strong. And then I just crumbled. I hit an artist's block, which then I could never climb out of again. Or if I did climb out of it, it was very slow. It would be like trying to climb out of a hole and then kind of seeing the top and then falling again and then being like, ugh, and then like you want to stay at the bottom longer because you're exhausted. Because you get to see that light and you don't want to be disappointed when you climb up to that hole again and you see the light again and then you fall. Is that a good analogy? I don't know if that makes any sense. Where it's like it hurts more you'd rather just find the comfort in the dark than be hurt by seeing the light for a moment and then having it being stripped away from you. That is so over dramatic for a fucking parody YouTube channel. I'm so sorry. But like that, to me, it just makes sense. That analogy there, it just makes sense. That's been my update. What's going on with me? I don't want to promise anything, but I do want to go back to Critical Role and I do want to go back to the Nuzlocke. Those are the two main things. I also kind of have an idea for a new series that I think will be good for me because it's just something I want to do, which is just talk about things I like and recommend for every Friday or something. Where like, or maybe not every Friday because it'd be like Thursday Critical Role, Friday that, Saturday Nuzlocke, that'd be like 3 days in a row of me, and maybe it's got to be spread out more. Like Recommendation Monday or something, where it's like a thing where, like, I recommend something that I like. I watch a lot of stuff. I waste a lot of my time. I play a lot of video games. I watch a lot of shows. And even then, it's mostly YouTube videos. Speaking of which, Bon Appetit, Brad Leone. Watch It's Alive. That's addicting. A lot of my time was spent doing that and playing Magic the Gathering Arena in November and December. That was a lot of my time. Not gonna lie. That's it. Sorry, I don't have anything else. If I do, I forgot. Pausing Patreon is still a thing, by the way. I am gonna pause it this month because I haven't made anything this month, and I don't plan to. Maybe I'll have something at the end of the month, like a Nuzlocke, but that's not worth the amount of money. And I already lost like a ton of patrons. I try not to feel hurt, like, because they have every right to leave, and I should have 0 patrons. But at the same time, I can't help but feel the guilt of them giving me my money and then going, well, she hasn't done anything with my money, and then, like, turning it off. Like, the annoyance that they must feel, like I betrayed them, like I lied to them, and because I'm so bad at keeping updates and everything like that. Like, it is not responsible for you to give me money especially if you need that money for yourself. I must stress that anytime. Even if I'm super successful and, like, I suddenly get my shit rolling. If you're not, like, stable, like, financially, don't ever give anyone, don't do it. Unless you absolutely know you can give up that dollar. Don't do it. It's okay. I don't know. You got I don't know. I just feel a lot of guilt for being behind on a lot of things with the telly. The telly is, behind on that a lot. It's like, how do you do all 3 things at once, And it's just, I don't know. So, thank you for your patience and for your love and your support. You've all been very kind to me in these times. I don't really have anything else to say other than thank you so much. I'm sorry for being bad at this, but being good enough for you guys to want to see more, but being bad at actually doing said thing. Yeah. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing okay.